Welcome to Ngosti Talk Shows. Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Challenges we have had to overcome in 2020.
Find your own voice.
The world has become united by the unseen, knowing there are no guarantees for tomorrow.
Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Let the world hear your voice and be filled within.
For the day has come for you to be a great leader.
The time has come to break away from the pain, distraction, experience the unthinkable.
For the day has come for you to be a great leader. Welcome to Ngosti Talk Shows. Over to you, Dr. Biget. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you, Numsa. Thank you very much. I have questions for you. Do you ever have a
I can't hear you, Dr. Biget. I can't hear you. Dr. Biget, he's just, I think she's having problems. So I don't know if my mic is working. So I might have to go back to the video so I can hear myself. So basically our topic today is, okay, let me put this. Let's see if I can hear myself. Okay, I can hear myself. Okay, so our topic today is reason your comfort zone is where your dream go to die. Here she comes. Hold on. Okay, Dr. Biget, you're back.
Yay, thank you so much. I am thrilled to be back. So, thank you very much. And for the audience, I have a question. Have you accomplished everything that you said you would love to accomplish in your life? What are some, if the answer is no, perhaps after recent change you would love a different result. What are some of the reasons that you might have possibly caused you to stay where you are and to stay stuck, so to say? And today we're going to share on why your comfort zone, as comfortable as it is, can actually be very hazardous for you in creating what you would really love and keeping you stuck. And I am Birgit Ten, and I am a grief transformation speaker, coach, author, and my specialty is to help people unstuck easily and with fun and create what it is that you love and regain more time, more energy, and better result, even in face of adversity.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Biget. So I think I've already said our topic. So what is your opinion on this topic, Dr. Biget?
Thank you, Numsa. So my opinions on this topic is many times it is very easy to stay where we are, and it is something that one of those things that nobody want to be uncomfortable in being human in general, or even animal if you look at them. Nobody want to be uncomfortable, and many times people has this huge fear of being uncomfortable, as well as human in general, as part of a survival thing. We don't like changes, and really that is what caused us to be uncomfortable actually when we want to be able to grow. And so there are different ways, even as simple as different ways of looking up at things that will allow you to release the discomfort and learn to actually embrace change in such a way that it will propel you toward where you want.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Bickett. I like it when you talk about embracing the change because I think it is very, very, very important to actually get out of your comfort zone because and you talk about no one likes to be uncomfortable. We don't want to be uncomfortable. That's why we basically don't chase our dreams. And our dreams may not have a life on their own. So that means we need to do something about it. And because our dreams lives within us and it lives in our heart, in our mind. And if we are committed to achieving our dreams, and basically our dreams will consume us. This is why it's so, so important not to get too enraged in our comfort zone because our dreams will die there within. So we need to actually embrace, like you were saying, embrace who we are and understanding that and having faith. And somebody put a video yesterday and saying, even though you have faith, the good thing about having faith is knowing that when you have challenges, challenges come your way. You know that you have faith and you have hope, whatever your beliefs that might be. So that it will drive you to keep going. And I think that is really, really amazing because there are some people, maybe I was one of them 10 years ago. I always chased my dreams, but I was so scared. There was a fear inside me that as a black person and being in the United Kingdom, would people take me serious? And I had to get rid of that habit and I had to embrace myself. And I had to actually practice when I'm reading the Bible and practice what I'm reading because we are one, although my color doesn't matter. So I had to actually change my thoughts, my thinking, and embrace who I am. And that's why I ended up doing what I do. And knowing that God loves me, and those who are not going to take me serious, that means they're not meant for me. But they have people that are gonna take me serious, and they're gonna basically use my knowledge to develop themselves, to create their dreams. So I don't know if you have anything you would like to add. I don't know. I can't hear you, Dr. Bigot.
There you go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
The mic comes in and out a little bit. Yeah, I love that when you talk about faith because a lot of people says, I understand I gotta have faith. I understand there are 2 points I love in there. The first one is the faith part. And people say now I understand I got to have faith, but it's I just could not. And many times we feel and sometimes we are told to just kind of just trust and just believe and things like that. And being human, it's our survival skill as well to be skeptical. Because if you're not skeptical when you are out gathering or hunting back in the day, and that was really, if we look at the evolutions of the earth and the world and the universe, that was really not that long ago when we were out gathering and hunting. If you're not skeptical, you will be in trouble very frequently, I would say. And so we still have that in us. We're very skeptical, which is good. And at the same time, there is a difference between having a blind faith and having an unwavering faith. There is a big difference between a blind faith and an unwavering faith. And what you want to do is to have an unwavering faith that says, okay, you know what? This many people, there are people who has done this, and yeah, people who that I have seen people with this kind of result that I would love. And yes, right now I'm not there yet, but I if I take this one little baby step at a time, then I will also reach there. It's kind of like if you are climbing a mountain. If you're climbing a mountain and you go one step at a time and one step at a time, and sometimes it feels like it's taking forever to climb up the mountain, but you know that if you continue to move forward, the directions that you're supposed to be moving forward, you'll eventually get on top of the mountain. It's not a question. If you truly are taking the step that the path that you're supposed to follow, you're gonna end up in the opposite directions. Of course, you'd want to know the directions that you got to go, but it's the same thing. You have the unwavering faith instead of a blind faith.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bigot. Um, I like it when you talk about faith, the blind faith. There's a difference between the blind faith and the bravery faith. So I think that is really amazing for somebody to know the difference. And you talk about continue following the right direction, the right path, because sometimes when things get tough, we tend to get scared of failure, or sometimes we basically, when we get caught up in our comfort zone, we get stuck in our daily routine, and instead of following our dreams. But following your dreams, it requires basically you to basically to get out of that comfort zone and familiar routine, and take the unknown, basically take the path that you don't know where you're going. So in taking risk, basically. But if you are somebody that is really, really scared of taking risk, then you are not going to get to where you need to go. And having faith and holding on to your beliefs, I think it helps you. Using your ritual, it does help you, because even if things get tough, like if you have faith, you know that I'm going to the unknown, but I know that I'm going to succeed. And if you fail, you know you can use that as whatever you learn about whatever you learn in that path. You don't sit around and say, oh, things didn't go right, or start blaming people. You hold on to the knowledge, because in that failure, when it comes to business, if business doesn't work out, so you get to look at the things that you didn't do right. You get to look at the things that you've learned through the process. Like when you're looking at the things that you didn't do right, you're not blaming yourself. You are actually like if basically doing some research and doing some improvement so you can do better, instead of blaming yourself. Because it's like when you start a business, the process is amazing, because you get to learn step by step whatever you're doing. If things don't work out according to plan, you can tweak the direction and basically still going the same way, but changing things around. But if you're somebody who is scared, or who just want to stay in their comfort zone, you're just gonna keep blaming yourself. I wish I hadn't done this, and people will make things worse. Basically, that's why when you fail, everybody will be happy to tell you why they didn't think it was the wrong idea. And when you basically succeed, everyone will be happy to tell you how much they believed in you, even if they didn't. So you basically you might as well get on with it. So that's what I believe. That's my belief, that you might as well get on with it, because every decision that you make, there is something that you are learning in that decision, or basically every path that you take is the unknown. And in that path, there will be tears, there will be joy, There will be so many things that are mixed up. That's why having faith, it doesn't mean you're not gonna have problems. It means that the problems are still gonna be there, but you can actually rise above those challenges and become what you should be becoming. Like myself, we're doing Ghost talk shows. We are with the Hope Springs Eternal Introduction Agency. There are challenges along the way, and we are learning something with Ghost talk shows as we are developing. But somebody, if we basically become like everyone knows about it tomorrow, people wouldn't know about our path, that are the challenges. So it's just us who knows about the challenges. So over to you, Dr. Biget.
Yeah, a lot of people that challenges just make them feel uncomfortable. But one thing that you can do, everything actually has time, has its own time. Many people has heard the term of preemie, which is child who's born too early. And why is it not good to be, if you are a baby, to be born too early? Because everything in life has its own what we call gestation time. In other words, if you are a child from a human, you don't want to be born in 5 months. It's not good for you. And in the same example, any women who has ever been pregnant will most likely attest to this. I actually never been pregnant myself, but many people, mothers will say that as they carry the baby, there is discomfort. You experience multitude of discomfort as you become more and more pregnant, and you get happy. You feel like you to go to the bathroom every 2 seconds, and then all these other things. At some point, you actually feel pain and this and that. But because you know what you are expecting, you embrace that. You're like, yeah, well, that's part of being pregnant. And then you might even wonder, well, why I'm not feeling pain when everybody else is there? Some things that I'm supposed to be feeling, but you don't sit there and say, oh God, you know what? I'm starting to feel pain, and I'm just gonna, okay, that's it. I'm not gonna do that. And at the same time, you also have faith. You also have faith that if you do this and you do that and you do that and you do that, you're going to have a healthy baby. And in the event something happen, you will allow support such that you will still have a healthy baby. And so it's kind of like a very similar example when you want to do something else's. And a lot of time, yes, those might be discomfort to a way you can do that, but a lot of soon to be mother that I have known, they actually said, I mean, yeah, well, you can see discomfort, or it's just being part of a pregnancy, and well, it's just kind of telling you that you're moving forward. If you don't feel you don't feel certain changes in your body, that actually kind of strange. Your doctor actually tell you to expect this to happen and tell them that it is not happening. While for other people, for gentlemen and people who are not pregnant, you're like, the heck, that would not be happening with me and should not be happening with me. And so, is it discomfort, or is it something that actually just part of your journey? How do you want to see that? I wake up and you used to ask me this, Numsa, because it's 5 a.m. in the morning here right now, 5:20 a.m. in the morning. And I remember at the beginning when I first joined this group, you said, how do you look like that and have all this energy at 5 in the morning? And well, I have made it a habit listening to many of my mentors. I made it a habit to wake up at around 3:30 in the morning. And did I initially love that concept? No. Back in the day, it was like, are you kidding me? It's still dark. The cat's still sleeping and gave me an evil look if I try to wake me up and wake him up. And so, no. And then I said, you know what? I can choose that this is uncomfortable. I can choose because sometimes in the personal development, you like learn to keep going in the discomfort. I say, you know what? I can choose that I'm going to power through with discomfort or all these things. Or I can choose that this is a new, more empowering habit. And when I take the discomfort out of my vocabulary, I take the discomfort out of that, and it's just like, okay, this is what with the pregnancy, this is what we want to experience as part of the pregnancy to make sure that to be able to tell that you are progressing the way you're supposed to. The same thing. It's is it discomfort or is it just part of the journey? Is it discomfort or is it new, more empowering habit?
I agree with you, Dr. Biget. When you actually talk about pregnancy, basically it's a journey. Sometimes you can have it smooth. Sometimes you can have it very, very challenging. You can have a very, very challenging pregnancy. But the beauty about it is when that child is born, or the doctors, like, they tell you it's a boy, and the nurses, the midwife, they tell you it's a boy or it's a girl, the pain that you've gone through the pregnancy, it goes away, because that child is born, and you, as a mother, you get to meet your child. Whatever you've gone through the pregnancy, it does not exist anymore. And even the doctors, no one talks about it. They start talking about the child. So that is the same thing, amazing thing about following your dreams. And if you decide you wanted to get out of your comfort zone and face the challenges, whatever challenges that comes your way, but when that path where you're going, when you get to the results, basically it's amazing. It's amazing when you actually set up your company or you work hard and you get that promotion and you look back where you've been, or it doesn't matter whatever path you are taking, whatever you choose, whether you choose to work for somebody or you choose to work for yourself. But if you choose that I want promotion, or I want, these are the results, but when you get to those results, it is amazing. But when you stay in your comfort zone, there is no, basically, you can't, basically your dreams, they will be demoted to the background, because no one gets to stay into their comfort zone and basically succeed. And if you really, really, really want to work on your dreams and succeed, you're gonna have to pursue your goals, write down your goals, and you will need a plan, a smart plan, basically, that will give you a direction, everything in details, how you're gonna get there. You will need a plan, marketing. You will need to do some research. If you're starting a business, you're gonna need some research. And when it comes to your competitors, you're gonna have to do some research on how to actually beat your competitors, because your competitors are there as a competition. Yes, so you need to research and see the gap, look at the gap, everything that they're not doing, and then so you can do that, and everything has to be in details. And also you have to be somebody who is not afraid to be different, because sometimes we want to do things like everybody else. I've seen the speakers, they come on and they'll be like, can we do like somebody else? We do this because the other people are doing things like that. But you don't have to do things that other people do. You can be different. It's nice to be different. It's nice to do things crazy. I don't do things. I don't do what people do. Basically, if you go and look at my what I post on my social media, I post pictures. I post everything that I do. Basically, I keep my personality as unique as possible because it's nice to know who you are as a person. It's nice to be different. It's nice to be a little bit crazy sometimes. And it's honestly not doing the things that everybody does. Because if you basically do things just because somebody else is doing it, for me, basically, I look at my character. It's like I was in church once, and like a few months ago, and this guy came to me because of my personality. When I love something, I don't hide it. And then he came to me and said, Nomsa, I know where you can fit in. I was like, what do you mean where I can fit in? And he was like, I think I came here to church. I went to church basically to help out. And it was like, my mind just said to just go out. And he said he just went out. And he was like, there's this music group and I know you can fit in and you will love them. And I listen to you when you sing in church. And I think you'll be good with them. So I contacted these people and they were happy for me to join them. So I decided I'm gonna join them. So it is good to be crazy. So one day in Ngozi Talk Shows, I might come and perform my concert here at Ngozi Talk Shows. So yeah, so I'm practicing with them every Saturday, and then we have a concert on the 30th. And I like being crazy. I don't like to do the normal. I don't do the normal, and I like to basically to work. And I know that whatever I do, I'm gonna have to work. So when I went there, I took this part, and this girl, when she had me singing, she was like, I need to push you. So this is what I'm gonna do with you. I was like, whatever you think is right. I'm happy for the challenge. Whatever the challenge is that you want to give it to me, I'm happy to take that challenge. And with Ngozi Talk Shows as well, I basically, we actually won I entered the award for matchmaking for the company around all dating agencies around the UK. And we won the award. And the guy was like, no, sir, I like Ngozi Talk Shows. Ngozi Talk Shows and your Instagram is not, you can see the things that I've done professionally. We were listening, and he was telling me the videos that they were listening to. It was like, you can tell that is broadcasted live, and everything you are doing it yourself, not professional. But when you actually listen to it, I can actually connect to it. I can connect it to the people that are speaking. So I love that. So we decided that we're gonna award you guys uh, a matchmaking of the year and your talk show. So I was like, thank you so much. Why have I been kicked out? Yeah, so I was like, thank you so much. And that happens a few days ago. I was still, I've not said it because I'm still swallowing the news. But it is nice to actually to get out of your comfort zone and do the things that it's not easy to get out of your comfort zone, but once you practice and doing it and you work on that fear, because the fear will always be there regardless of what, there's always going to be that voice that tells you that you are not enough. But you need to know that yes, I am enough, and challenge that voice and just keep going.
Yeah, it's one of those, being different is something that cause a lot of discomfort for people, being unique. And again, a lot of time we are told, particularly in this day and age of personal development, oh, you want to be unique, you want to do this. And many times it's a lot easier said than done. And that's what make actually, and then it make people feel worse. They feel uncomfortable that when they notice they're feeling you feel uncomfortable when you notice you being different with others, and then you feel uncomfortable and you being told that you're supposed to feel uncomfortable, and then they even feel uncomfortable. Can you imagine this? If you don't have this understanding, it's just kind of like you out there in a mass of confusions and discomfort, and that's not something where anybody wants to be, and you want to realize that it is actually very normal for you to not want to be different. Why? Back in the evolution's time, back in the hunter gatherer time, well, if you are a bit too different than your cave mate, they might just get a little uncomfortable, and then they will kick you out if you are different in any manner. Back in the day, some 200 or something years ago, well, then that can be dangerous. And then it's actually it's not that long ago when, yes, we want to be similar. If everybody, and then it's also dangerous. Imagine if you were living in the wilderness with large animal and things like that, and everybody want to go this way as a group, and you said, you know what, I'm going to go this way. Well, you might accidentally, the saber-toothed lions might actually realize that you are alone now and then go eat you. And so you got to go with the group back in the day. But now it's a modern day, and at the same time, because we think things change so fast, there's part of our brain that has not yet moved as fast, and then that part of our brain still say, well, wait a minute, everybody going that way, what do you mean you being different and going this way? You're gonna get eaten by the saber-toothed lion. Well, right now you're not. Most of, if you're listening to this, you're probably not having saber-toothed lion lurking around somewhere nearby you. And yes, there are metaphorical, though nowadays, though there are actually metaphorical saber-tooth lion, right? And so and that's what a lot of time we are concerned about. So it is actually still makes sense that you don't want to be different, except your metaphorical saber-tooth lion are more likely to will get to you in a different manner, and so it's actually good for you to be different while still being mindful. It's not just you being different and then you start going out on the street with no clothing. Then that's a problem. So you want to be unique. You want to be you. You want to be you, not being different just so you can be different. You want to be you, and then still being mindful that yes, there are modern day saber-tooth lion, but they will get to you in a different manner, unlike the way it was in the past. And so that is one thing that it's normal and natural not to want to be different. It's normal and natural to feel uncomfortable that if you are being unique. And some people, like you, Numsa, yes, you learn to embrace that. But many people has this really great discomfort and being unique, and also not to remember that it is actually we are meant to be unique. If you look at your fingerprints, everyone has completely different fingerprint combination. In general, there are few people in the world that's different, that's unique on their own. But you and I have different set of fingerprint combinations, and so what does that mean? We're meant to be different. We're not meant to be exact photocopy of somebody else's. Even if you look at your fingerprint closely right now, even as you're listening to this, look at your fingerprint closely in a well lit area. You will notice that each finger has slightly different print. And what's that mean? Not only you're meant to be different than your neighbor, your sister, your parents, your spouse, your kids, your best friend, whomever, and definitely different from what the magazine says. But it's also meant that if you notice you're not the same person that you are 10 years ago or 5 years ago or even 2 years ago before everything happened, and then now everything in your heart just changed, that's okay. It's a good thing. It's good to be different, just like your fingerprints meant to be different. That's what makes you unique and special.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Bigot. I like it when you talk about the fingerprints. Our fingerprints are different, and we don't see us human like that. We try to be like everybody else. And basically, you have to embrace the discomfort and basically push yourself to get out there and be unique as possible, like what you're saying. And try to basically, if you are following your dreams and you want to get out of your comfort zone, you're gonna have to leave some people behind. There are some things, places you're gonna have to leave behind. There are some people you're gonna have to leave them behind. If those people are meant to be with you, they'll follow you, because not everyone will agree with whatever uniqueness you decide to do. And you're gonna have to embrace being uncomfortable. And basically, like what you're saying, you're talking about being a mindfulness. And Raina, she's saying the power of being unique. That's the power of being unique. Thank you so much, Raina. And you can talk more if you want to. Please put some comment. And it's actually it's beautiful, because when you are unique, and if you understand who you are as a person, it's actually it's beautiful, because you get to embrace who you are as a person. You get to be you, and you get to do the things that sometimes there's you get to do things that you don't want to do, basically, when you want to get out of your comfort zone. So you basically get to do things like you get to go and approach people that are above you, and ask them to teach you the things that they know. And that is very uncomfortable, to actually ask people and to say, I do this. I remember when I started my business, I basically went and emailed people that have been in the business for a long time. Some people rejected me, but some people were happy to meet up with me, because I wanted to understand the business. I wanted to know, instead of me stealing their knowledge, I actually wanted to sit down with the people that have been in the matchmaking business for a long time, and just ask questions about how they're getting on. And basically, for me, what can I look forward to? And some people basically did not want to know. They'll be like, but some people basically were like, yeah, sure, I'll meet you up for coffee when. So I met up for coffee with them and tried to ask some questions, getting to know them. But as I was as I was building my business, I got to learn that when you are actually starting your business, your competitors are going to see you as a threat. So some people are not going to want to know, and some people are they will be willing to give you some tips. They will be willing to meet you up and make friends with you, because they know you are in the same industry. And so those are the things that I've learned. Those who rejected me, I didn't see it as a rejection. I saw it as like, I was like, okay, if I'm a threat, okay, that's how they feel, that's fine. But it is just in that part, I've learned so many things. And even people like head hunting me, like they look at me on social media, and those people who have been in the business for a very very long time, who do similar things that I do. When somebody actually comment and say, I like what you do, I like what I see, would you like to meet up, or would you like to work with me? It does help, and it teaches you as well that when you are in that journey, you're gonna need to do the same to help people that are basically starting out, and give them some tips. So those are the things that helped me. And it helped me as well to pick and choose the people that I wanted to. And when I'm saying pick and choose, not to picking people, I'm talking about the mindset. who do I want to hang out? Because when you start a business or when you are working, basically you want to get that promotion, you're gonna have to hang out with people that think the same way. You're not just gonna hang out with people just because you feel sorry for them. So I had to pick and choose. When it comes to business, I had to like, you are my basically my mentor, Dr. Biget. And so I have to look at people's personality. I have to look at people's values. I have to look at people's beliefs, even though our beliefs are different. So I have to look at so many things, like if I hang out with a person, will I still go where I need to go? And those are the things that I had to look at. And knowing that these people that I hang out with, they want the same that I want. They want the same thing that I basically the path that I'm craving for. So that it gives me basically joy to say, okay, you can hang out with me. And because we have to celebrate each other. If somebody succeed, you have to be able to celebrate that person. It's not all about the results. If somebody else um, they win, you have to be able to celebrate your friends. You have to be able to celebrate your colleagues or the business people around you. And Raina says sometimes we look too far away to see those we want to support us, while the real supporters are so many times so close to you, so close to us. That is so true. That is really, really true. Uh, I basically, when somebody gets in touch with me, I stop and listen to what they have to say. If we are going the same path, we are good to go. But there's some those that will approach you basically because they want to sell something, and the agenda is to sell. And those ones I listen, but I know they're not gonna be my friends, because my friends, business friends, are the ones that in my community are the ones that want to know what I do, how they can help me, and how I can help them. So I know that one, they're not here to just to take. So I listen to people who have been in the business for a very, very long time. They say, you see the business card, those you meet and they're like, and don't be afraid to competitors, just never be your own obstacles. That's Ryan. She said, that's what she said. That's what Ryan says. Raina says, thank you so much, Raina. Yeah, you shouldn't be afraid, your competitors. And do you have anything to say, Dr. Biket? We'll be leaving soon.
Yeah, I love what you said there, because, and thank you, Reina, for joining us and sharing your thought. It's really great that you said that. The At the end of the day, it's a matter of how you look at things. You can see that somebody is a competitor, and then you have to be afraid of them, or you have to be upset, or perhaps to be worried about them, or jealous, or something like that. Or you can simply say, they become your motivator. And it's very much depend on how, like you said earlier, an example that you gave, Nomsa, that's like, well, people might see it this way, but you choose to see it differently. So are they your competitors or actually just motivators? I mean, we know very well that, like, an Olympic athlete, I think that I believe they study Michael Phelps, the swimmer, about this. I might get the person's incorrectly, but I think it was Michael Phelps that they study that, and they do this. When they train athlete for Olympic, they train an athlete with a competitor that just almost as good as that person's, at least in that particular training. Maybe not in a whole thing, but in that particular sections that they want to train the persons, they have somebody. So when they train Michael Phelps, for instance, when Michael Phelps swimming, they go find somebody who can swim almost as fast as he does. Now, maybe not necessarily, because that's why he's Michael Phelps. And whether it's in the sprint, in the start, let's say they want to start, they want to improve his performance at the launch, or there might be a different term perhaps for that, where he start taking off. They find somebody really, really, really good in that particular section, and then once he's improved that, and then now they want to train him on the flip back. They find somebody else that is really good at that, and they see that when an athlete is trained that way with somebody, they actually has better performance. So if they have Michael Phelps goes out on the pool on his own and start training, he doesn't improve as greatly. So is it your competitors or your motivators? Is it your competitors, or it is actually somebody who is indirectly support you? Most of us has naysayers in our life, and you can have naysayers to stop you and stall you, or you can have naysayers. Somebody tell you with in my example, somebody told me many times, including my own advisors back in the day, who says, you're too stupid to become a doctor. And I learned to say, thank you very much. Well, that's wonderful opinions that you have, and let me just see. So it's a lot of time. It's a matter how you're seeing it. Are you being out of your comfort zone? So are you being uncomfortable because this is something new that not familiar with you as you want to pursue your dream, or are you saying I'm developing a new comfort zone? For some people, having to earlier example that we have today, having to wake up at certain time in the morning is highly uncomfortable if you have a habit of doing something else. Back in the day, that was the same thing with me. But I decided that I'm going to make it a new comfort zone for me, where waking up at 3:30 in the morning is something I'm absolutely comfortable. Now I'm actually trained to not bound by the clock, so to say, which is a whole other story. But comfort zone is one of those very relative. Comfort zone at the end of the day is a perception. Do you perceive it as this is your comfort zone and everything else uncomfortable? Or you simply say, well, this is what I'm accustomed to, but now my new comfort zone is going to be this, which is something that you continue to progress. And it's always a matter of perceptions. Now, it's a lot easier sometimes to listen to hear and to say than to actually do that. But that's when you want to have structure. Structure will allow you to be able to stay, to continue progressing and moving forward when the old familiar want to say, what do you mean you're waking up at 3:30 in the morning? Are you freaking kidding? Sleep for another 2-3 hours. That's when you have structure. And if you don't have a structure that you need, then you want to allow support. You allow for support from people who has proven result already, and then make it a whole lot easier when you have somebody that can be there and tell you what to do and be your cheerleader at the same time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Biggett. I think you said you wanted to leave this time. Any words of encouragements before we go?
Yeah, I would say to take one little baby step at a time. Just like if you climb a mountain, don't worry about trying to jump up there. Take one baby step at a time and allow, just like you are a lot more likely to be successful if you climb a mountain to have support. Nobody climb up the Himalayas on their own. Allow support, because support, everybody support and structures will help you get to where you want. A lot safer, a lot easier, and a lot faster.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Biggett. For me, I would say don't be afraid of what people think. If you are talented, please follow your dreams, and don't be afraid of falling flat of your face, and or don't be afraid of standing out of the crowd standing out from the crowd, because your dreams are your dreams. So even if you are talented, no one will ever know how talented you were until you go to the grave. And thank you so much, Reina, for your comments. So hopefully you will join us next time. We are here Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. UK time at Ngozi Talk Shows. If you're watching this later, please press some heart button and share some love with the video with your friends and family. God bless you and live with grace. Remember to get out of your comfort zone. Thank you so much.